It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year, cuckolds. Welcome to another video from your boy, The Hater. Everybody knows that today is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which means it's effectively the first day of the holiday season, motherfuckers. So put a little extra pep in your step and get to it. Time to buy presents, time to have fun, time to do the things you need to do. And hopefully, if you've been good all year like your boy, Santa Claus may show up and give your bitch ass a present. But for me, the present is the day itself, motherfuckers. But normally, on a time like this, I'd be extra excited because I would have something to look forward to called Survivor Series. And now some of you are probably scratching your balls and asshole at the same time and thinking, Hater, what are you talking about? This weekend is Survivor Series. And I say to you, no it ain't, motherfuckers. This is now War Games, a gimmick match pay-per-view. One of the things that I don't talk about often enough is my personal hatred towards gimmick match pay-per-views. There are some exceptions. Royal Rumble is one of them, and obviously I understand the irony. Survivor Series is another one when we have the Survivor Series match. The primary reason is because the Royal Rumble is an institution, not in WWE, which obviously it is, but it's an institution in wrestling. The concept is brilliant. The idea that someone has to earn their shot at being at the #1 event of the year is brilliant, even though it's kayfabe, of course, right? Think about it this way. UFC is going to put on the White House card. Nobody's earning that shit. Dana White's just going to pick who goes on there, you know? He could pick me versus like fucking, you know, the guys from Technical Work Rate Productions for all I care, right? He could pick whoever he wants. The point is, in wrestling, the idea is that there's an illusion of earning it in the Rumble. So that's cool. Next, we've got the traditional Survivor Series. Low impact match. It's basically one-on-one feuds. It's a series of one-on-one matches just compounded into like a team match, which adds a little bit more excitement and makes things go smoother and faster. Now, every other gimmick match is often accompanied by a certain level of danger, a certain level of extreme, right? Even something like Extreme Rules. You got Extreme Rules, TLC. Remember when TLC was a pay-per-view, right? Extreme Rules, TLC, Hell in a Cell, right? This is stupid. And now, of course, we've got War Games, Survivor Series War Games. This is stupid. Number one, this completely destroys the concept of the gimmick match. The gimmick match is not there for no reason, dumb fucks. For example, the cage match, which is an original concept, it is one of the first gimmick matches that has ever mattered, makes sense. The idea is if you have two guys who want to get their hands on each other, but one of them is a pussy-ass bitch who keeps running away, well, what do? You put them in a cage and you lock the door, motherfucks. Then all of a sudden, they got all weird and made it so like you can just tell the referee, open the door. Like that was, whoever came up with that is retarded, you know? Anyways, the point of the cage match was you can win by pin sometimes, right? And the idea is you can pin someone in the middle of the very ring, right? And the idea is that the person that you're trying to pin, and vice versa, cannot run away from you, right? And to a certain degree, people that may be aligned with your opponent cannot come in to the ring because there's a cage, and they can't fuck with you that way, right? The Hell in a Cell is a similar concept, right? But all of these matches have something that make them special, right? Some sort of expectation. So, you know, you might see, for example, oh, it's a street fight. Oh, it's a hardcore match. Oh, it's a, you know, like a fucking street of ass match. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you have those like, oh, it's like a Dallas, Texas street fight match. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit, right? Those matches are all the same thing. They're basically a no DQ match. You also even have the no DQ match, right? But the expectation for each one is different, right? So when someone hears like Extreme Rules, I should say, then you expect like a hardcore match, but you expect like, for example, someone to go through tables. You might expect like a flaming table or something like that, right? But in a hardcore match, you expect someone to get hit with like a trash can to the head. The reason I bring this up is because gimmick matches have a purpose, motherfucks. So I'll talk about one of my favorite gimmick matches of all time. You know what? It's a gimmick match rivalry, motherfucks. Triple H versus Mankind. Triple H versus Mankind at Royal Rumble is like the first title match on pay-per-view that I've ever seen, right? For the world title. And it was a hell of a match. The idea is, this is like a street fight, I think it was billed as. I don't remember. But it's like this brutal match, right? It's a brutal match, and Triple H just beats the shit out of Mankind. Mankind beats the shit out of Triple H. It's just great. Pedigree on the thumbtacks. Fantastic, right? Now, the reason why this match was like this was because Mankind was a fucking psychopath, and it was hard to put him down. So Triple H had to go, he had to sink low. That's from a kayfabe perspective. From a non-kayfabe perspective, from a business perspective, Triple H needed to, kind of establish himself, because this was like his first title run, and he kind of like got it on SummerSlam, so he had been champion only for a little bit, and quite frankly, like nobody really bought into it, and he lost it, and he won it again. It's a bunch of other problems, right? So anyways, the point is, like, there was a reason for this match to happen. After this, Triple H wins, no way out, we get Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell was an awesome gimmick match in general, right? At this time, this was like I think it might have been the second or the third Hell in a Cell. There was Taker Michaels, Taker Foley, and now it was time for Triple H Foley, right? Now, this was amazing as a concept, right? Because the idea was, this is a match that you see very rarely, and these guys have a reason to be in this match. Mick Foley demands the Hell in a Cell, motherfuckers. He demands it from Triple H because he's putting up his career on the line, so he wants to have a home field advantage, right? He wants to be in his backyard, the Hell in a Cell. Triple H, on the other hand, doesn't want to do this. He's reluctant. Even though he beat Mankind in the street fight, he got his ass beat too. So he doesn't want to fight him, but he's forced to by virtue of being champion. And also, reluctantly, he's going to have to do it because he's going to have to put an end to Mankind, right? In other words, motherfucks, the fact that this match is a Hell in a Cell is relevant. Now imagine if the reasons that I just said didn't exist, and the Triple H versus Mick Foley match, or Cactus Jack as he was called at that moment, right? Imagine if this match instead was a Hell in a Cell match just because the next pay-per-view is Hell in a Cell, right? It's just time to have a Hell in a Cell match. The calendar says so, dumb fucks. That's exactly what's happening with War Games. With War Games, it's basically just time to have the War Games match. So these dumb fucks have to scramble and come up with bullshit storylines that don't make any sense. First of all, the Vision is doing Vision shit, right? Cody Rhodes is basically in this transitory period where he's doing nothing, right? He's basically doing nothing. For better or for worse, right? The Cuckster himself is doing nothing. He just came off his feud with Drew McIntyre, and that's pretty much done, effectively. And he's just kind of there, right? I mean, this is like a lot of Cody's career is just him being there, waiting for something to go down. Like, there's no feasible challenger, as we speak, to Cody Rhodes, right? There literally is nobody who is presented as even being remotely equal to the Cuckster. So anyways, the Cuckster is waiting. So I guess he decides he's bored. So he decides to go after the Vision for absolutely no reason, right? Fine, go after them. I don't give a flying fuck. Do what you need to do. Oh, I'm here to help my friend Jay. Go ahead, all right? Help Jay, cuck. And even though he's got like his cousin and his brother, help Jay. Now, all of a sudden, as a result of this, Drew McIntyre gets pissed off that Cody like screwed him, as he perceives it, and he decides to go and join Team fucking Paul Heyman. No reason at all. Time to move on. He joins it, right? Why? Why does he have to go beat up Cucky and then join the War Games team, right? Why would he do this? On the women's side, we have the same thing. Lash Legend comes out of nowhere. She gets aligned with Nia Jax, and Nia Jax and Lash Legend attack Charlotte and Alexa. Great. Set up a feud with them if you want. But why does this then lead to an interpromotional fucking War Games match? In other words, imagine if you're Lash Legend or Drew McIntyre. Why the fuck would you want to be in these matches? If you're Logan Paul, why do you want to be in this match, right? Like, imagine if your job told you, hey man, whatever it is you do, let's say you sell cell phones. Like, now you have to do it while being attacked with a Singapore cane to the back. You'd be like, fuck that, why? You know what I mean? How about let me sell phones normally, right? Nobody should agree to ever be in a War Games match unless there is a reason that the storyline calls for a War Games match. This is the lost art of the gimmick match, right? You can take something as stupid and simple as, when Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler were having the Kiss Me Arse match, right? I guess they both wanted each other to kiss the ass that they thought was best, but, it was what it was. At least it made sense. Why was a Kiss Me Arse match and not a Kiss Me Balls match, right? So the idea is things have to make sense. It's the same thing in all forms of wrestling. You have a scenario, right, where you have different people that are in feuds, and the feud calls for some sort of conclusion. And the conclusion must be based on what is going on in the story. So, for example, jumping back really quick to Triple H versus Mick Foley, one of the main considerations was that Triple H was a cheater, right? And he had an entire faction behind him called DX. So he had the Outlaws and X-Pac. So Mick Foley has no assurances that at any given moment, the Outlaws and X-Pac won't come in and just beat his ass. Triple H hits the pedigree and that's it, right? So automatically, those people, there has to be a way to neutralize them. Likewise, nothing technically stops X-Pac from coming in and doing a spin kick to Triple H, right? And disqualifying him, giving him the win, right? Or even better, X-Pac comes in, spin kicks Foley, DQ finish, right? See what I'm saying? So it has to be a match where there's no DQs. Secondly, it has to be a match where there's some form of neutralization of the threat of interference. That would be great. So that's why we have a cage-based match, right? 3, the storyline is supposed to be the end of something, right? Mick Foley's career is not going to end because Triple H climbed a cage faster than him. So it can't be a traditional cage match that you go in by escape. It has to be Hell in a Cell, right? You see what I'm getting at? The same logic is used with last man standing matches, right? The idea is these guys just won't go down, right? So someone's like, all right, we're going to go until one of us can't get up. Perfect, right? Perfect idea for a match. Same thing with an I Quit match. Someone just won't give up and it's like, all right, I'm going to show you that I'm more man than you, right? The storyline has to involve, I'm going to show you that I'm more man than you. Imagine if it was just like a random ass I Quit match. It was like, I don't know, Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander in an I Quit match. Like nobody would give a fuck. You know? I don't care. The match is not exciting because of like the things that are going to happen in the match. The match is only exciting based on the storyline. That's why I Quit matches are awesome, right? Because number one, people don't want to say I quit. And number two, the match itself doesn't add anything. The only thing that happens is that I Quit match involves an element of making someone say, I quit. You know what I mean? That's really all there is to it. So with that being said, the question then remains, right? When we have something like War Games coming up, right? Why would 20 people agree to be part of War Games? Why? I don't want to be. Like, for example, let's just say, right? Let's just say Becky Lynch is feuding with AJ Lee, right? Even though Becky Lynch has not done anything to AJ Lee, sure, she like fucked with her husband, but whatever. AJ Lee comes out and calls Becky Lynch the IC title, right? Fine. Becky Lynch now has a reason to fight AJ Lee, right? AJ Lee, independently of this, gets recruited into War Games by Rhea Ripley. So, ipso facto, Becky Lynch attacks AJ Lee. But just because she doesn't like AJ Lee, and just because she's beating that ass, she's beating AJ Lee's ass, right? Generally speaking, this doesn't mean that she should be willing to put herself in War Games where she's gonna get hurt. Why would she do this? Why not instead, when AJ Lee's about to come out of the little shark cage thing they have on War Games, just come and blast her from behind with a chair? Why do you have to go be in this match where you could get hurt, right? Now, in a situation where the match calls for it, if there was a storyline, if these characters had any personality, then it could make sense. But the only personality differences that we see, right? Literally, the face team and the heel team, not one of the women there has any personality. They're all carnival jobbers. None of them are good at all. Even Becky Lynch, all their personality is I'm bad or I'm good. That's it. The good ones are fighting the bad ones. Nobody has any personality. Like, there's no reason why Lash Legend and Nia Jax are the bad ones, right? They're only bad because they attacked someone from behind. That's it, right? That's literally it. They do like one or two heel things, and they're just bad guys, right? Meanwhile, Jade Cargill, who, by the way, is a failure at this point because she won the big one, she's not even on the card, you know? She's not even on the card, motherfuckers. Like, they have no respect for this bitch. But anyways, neither here nor there. The point is, the gimmick match is completely retarded, and the gimmick match has ruined wrestling. So much so that pay-per-views like Hell in a Cell are now not a thing anymore because hopefully someone is not retarded enough to keep doing this. Someone realized, they're like, wait a second, man. We're just putting these people in Hell in a Cell just because it's time for Hell in a Cell. You can do that with something like, King of the Ring. You can do that with something like Survivor Series. It's just a regular match, right? Like, you're not being asked to jump off a cage, But you can't do that with like an Inferno match. Oh, one of you's going to have to be burned alive. What? No, motherfuckers. These things need to be reserved for situations that call for it. When Undertaker fought Kane and Paul Bearer got buried alive in the concrete, right? This stipulation and this entire setup was conducive to a specific storyline. Meaning that if you did the same thing, if you did like, I don't know, let's say like Gangrel versus Al Snow, and as a result, the winner gets to bury Paul Bearer in concrete, that would make no sense. It would have to be part of the storyline. So with that being said, we got to focus on the storyline. And if there is no storyline, then in my opinion, there's no reason to have a War Games, right? Why did these people, right? Rhea Ripley and Cookie Rhodes and CM Punk, who are the ones that initiated the conversation, right? Why did they agree to do War Games? Why did they just say, you know what? We got 5, you got 5. Survivor Series match. Why do they pick the more violent option, right? Now, the answer to this is very obvious. They didn't pick it. They don't have the right to pick it. It's on the calendar, dumb fucks. You're going to do this or you're not going to wrestle at all, right? Simple as that. Or there is no pay-per-view. Somebody's going to have to be thrown off the cage. This not only cheapens the match, but if I'm being honest, it's going to sound weird, but it cheapens someone being thrown off too, right? If every year someone's going to be thrown off the Hell in a Cell, that's not interesting, right? I want someone to be thrown off because they deserve to be thrown off, or because they don't deserve to be thrown off and are nevertheless thrown off by the bad guy, right? Those are the acceptable metrics. It can't just be like it's time for the spot. No, the spot has to make sense. The match has to make sense. See what I'm saying? Same thing here, right? This is not going well at all, in my opinion. I personally believe it's a complete disaster up in this bitch. And the facts of the matter are what the facts of the matter are. The entire show is predicated on this understanding, on this idea, right? That for some reason or another, I should say, really, these matches need to happen. No, they don't. They don't need to happen, right? And again, this is all on top of the massive circle jerkery that has been perpetrated upon us fans of the Survivor Series. It's not enough that you're going to add a dumbass gimmick match that nobody even likes, right? On top of this, you're going to take away one of the only gimmick matches that makes sense that you've been doing on and off, to be fair, but for like 40 years. It's like the 39th Survivor Series, the second longest running event after WrestleMania. But now, Dusty Rhodes dies, Cody Rhodes comes back, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. The Cuckster came out and he said, it's my birthright. I'm fucking sick and tired of this family, to be honest. The more the time goes by, the more I'm sick of them. Dusty Rhodes has been dead, I think, I Googled this like some time ago. So, I'm not 100% sure, so I'll look it up again. But I believe that Dusty Rhodes died in like 2014 or some shit, right? Let's see, 2015. It's been 10 years, motherfuckers. You'd think this fucking asshole died last week the way they talk about him, right? They talk about he's like a fucking mediocrity. And you know what? Don't even get me started with this shit. Oh, don't make fun of him because he's dead. I don't care, motherfuckers. I don't care. I don't believe in your horseshit philosophy that you can't make fun of people that are dead. I don't care. For some reason, in modern times, you can't make fun of someone if they're dead, number one. And number two, you can't criticize someone if they're dead, right? And the dumbass explanation is they're not here to defend themselves. Motherfuck. You think if I said Dusty Rhodes was a fat bastard and he were alive, he would have time to defend himself against me? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? He's not worried about me. And even if he could, I don't care, bro. I don't care. What is this like ridiculous? Oh, you have to give people the right to defend against. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Everyone's a fucking pussy nowadays, man. Straight up in this bitch. This is just how things are, motherfuckers. I'm going to make fun of people if they're dead, and I'm going to criticize them, motherfuckers. There's this weird thing that people like get this massive boost after they die, right? I got news for you, pal. Tupac ain't that great. Suck a fat one. I was always more of a Biggie guy anyways. But I don't care, motherfuckers. I don't care. They obviously get a boost because they're dead. Kurt Cobain, too. A lot of people like Kurt Cobain. I kind of like Nirvana. I like a few of their songs. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, this guy's a musical genius. Everyone that dies like in their 30s or earlier is a musical genius. No, they're not. Some of them are just mediocres. like fucking Amy Winehouse. I try to rehab. No, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Enough of this shit, man. Boring ass music. You know? Nobody wants to hear that crap. But anyways, you can't make fun of these people. You can't say shit like that. Oh, Bray Wyatt had no creativity in him whatsoever. Don't say that. It's so disrespectful. Bray's dead. I don't care, motherfucks. But just because he died prematurely doesn't mean that he automatically becomes creative now. That we have to really effectively erase our memory and supplant new memories that fit in with kindness that is perceived by fat retards. No, I don't think it is kind to lie about somebody. I don't think it's kind at all. If I were Bray Wyatt and somebody thought that I wasn't creative and I passed away at 36 or whatever, I'd be like, man, I wish this guy thought I was creative maybe, but I don't want him to not say it, right? Same thing here, right? Somebody needs to say it because then if this goes on the way it's going on, we're going to be ruled by the dead, motherfucks. Straight up. We're going to be forced to sit through multiple war games because Dusty Rhodes died, my father, my legacy. It's a fucking fake legacy in a fake sport that you didn't earn. Your brother is mediocre. Your father is a jobber. And Cody Rhodes sucks ass too. Get over it, motherfucker. Get over it. You didn't achieve anything for real. Oh, my father had a watch he was going to give me when I became World Heavyweight Champion. It's a fake sport. That's fucking retarded. That is fucking stupid. Someone was going to give you an award. They were going to give you a present when you achieve something that is not real. It's fucking weird. This would be the equivalent. People are like, it's like getting a promotion. No, it isn't. It's not like getting a promotion. Absolutely not. It's not like getting an Oscar. No, this would be like if someone gave Keanu Reeves, a watch when he kills the 1,000th person in the John Wick franchise, right? It's not up to him, motherfuckers. It's going to be written one way or another. They're going to be like, all right, now you killed him. I got 1,000 kills on John Wick. Keanu Reeves would not take that as a fucking sign of success, right? It's not real, motherfuckers. The best way I can put it is like this. Wrestling is not real in any capacity. When you turn on wrestling, the idea is you're supposed to be watching from an angle that doesn't exist, right? You're supposed to be watching from an outside angle. Imagine this federation is happening, and you're just watching it, right? You're supposed to immerse yourself in that way, right? If anyone watches the show The Traitors, you know what I'm talking about, right? The Traitors is a game show, and it's all mystery and shit. They're in a castle. They got that Alan guy, whatever the fuck his name is, you know? And the point is you're supposed to kind of immerse yourself and be part of this mystery thing. You're supposed to be watching it from a vantage point that doesn't exist, right? From the perspective of the viewer. But at the end of the day, we know that this shit isn't there's no actual murders happening, motherfuckers. And sometimes the people in the show, they start crying when someone gets eliminated. And one time someone was like, the person's not really dead. You know what I mean? Relax. So what I'm getting at here with this random ass side rant is that I'm tired of this fucking shit, right? That we have to now tolerate bad pay-per-view after bad pay-per-view because Cody feels that it honors his father's legacy. It doesn't. It doesn't. His father doesn't have a real legacy because it's not a real sport, motherfuckers. It literally is like comparing who's better, John Wick or the character that Nicolas Cage played in Con Air. Yeah, that's the comparison we're making. Oh, I wear long hair because Cameron Poe in Con Air had long hair. Shut the fuck up, all right? Shut your bitch ass up. I'm tired of this garbage. So that being said, take care of yourselves. Have a happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm doing a video tomorrow, but you never know, right? You never know. Maybe I'll do it too late, and you guys will see it after I say happy Thanksgiving. So there you have it. That being said, take care of yourself, Cuxties.